friends, welcome back. Today I wanted to do something a little different. I know I've done a few tags before in the past, but this one is an original by one of my friends, Lindsay at the blog Books for Christian Girls, and I'll leave her channel and her video linked in the description. And I thought it was a really fun tag. So she has combined two of her interests, which are stationery and books. So I thought that would be really, really fun, and I'm filming in my art room today, so let's just hop in. I've got her video up here so that I can read off the prompts. And let's begin. The first one for the stationery book tag. Journal. What kind of journaling do you do? If any, scrapbooking included. Share a favorite spread and share a favorite book. So this is, I don't really journal at the moment. I go through phases in life, and at the moment I don't have a journal on the go, but in terms of like art journaling, I picked this up probably a couple of years ago, and I've slowly been working on like the spreads, but I don't really know what I want to use this journal for, because I don't want to do anything too private because then I can't show it to anyone. So I'm not really sure what I should put in this. I guess it's kind of an art journal. So let me know if you have any ideas on what I should put in here. But this is the journal I'm including for the tag. And share a favorite book. So I have to mention The Hobbit because you guys know I love The Hobbit. So for some of these questions, I wanted to include a fiction book and nonfiction because I like both. I like The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien, as well as Blessed Are the Misfits by Brant Hansen. These are a couple of my favorite books. The next question is pen. A good pen is an important everyday item. What's a book that you could read again and again? I'm including this book, The Princess by Lori Wick. I'm including this one for this prompt because I in fact have read this book over and over and over again. Currently, it doesn't necessarily fit into like the typical books that I'm reading right now, but this was one of, if not my favorite book as a teenager, and I have read it a few times since then, and I've always enjoyed it, and part of it could be the nostalgia, but it's just a typical, you know, real life fairy tale kind of a story, and with like an actual prince. So I don't know, it's one of those cute stories. Next one, she's got hand lettering. Is there a certain pen you like seeing your handwriting in? Do you enjoy hand lettering? Share a book cover with a beautiful font. I do enjoy hand lettering. I don't practice it enough, but when I do, I like to use brush pens. This one is one that I really like. It's the Zig Mangaka Flexible Pen. This one, it's got a brush tip, but it's quite a firm brush tip, so you have to press really hard for the thick strokes, and then you can almost write normally for the upstrokes. So it's really nice to have. So the Mangaka brush pen. And then a book with nice font on the cover, and that I'm choosing Incarcerum. This font has like almost like gears and a little bit steampunky, and I assume, I haven't read this book yet, but I assume it ties into the content of this book, but I really like the font in there. It's kind of cool. So that's that question. Next question. Doodles. Are you a doodler? Do you have a book that has doodles anywhere on the book? So I do like to doodle. I don't do it enough. This is like more of a painting doodle spread, but it's still doodles, even though it's paint. So there's some of my doodles. And then I have a fiction and nonfiction. So the fiction is Sketchy Behavior by Erin Magnum, which is kind of funny because I actually was recommended this book from Lindsay's channel. So It's got some doodles here you can see, and then for nonfiction I have It's Okay About It by Lauren Casper. She spoke at a infertility conference that my husband and I were at a few years back, and I bought this book and I still haven't read it yet, but I need to, and there's a whole bunch of doodles around because it's lessons from a remarkable 5-year-old about living life wide open, so it kind of ties in that childish bit. So the next one is stickers. What's a genre you will always stick to and read often? And this is my sticker book. A genre that I stick to and read often, and probably will for the rest of my life, is historical fiction. I've got Redeeming Love by Francine Rivers here to show. This is one of my favorite historical fiction books, and I just really like it. I haven't branched out too much in different eras, but I typically like, 1800s is more is my wheelhouse, but I'm interested in trying different decades and eras. So yeah, historical fiction. Next question references washi tape, and this is like seriously one of my favorite rolls of washi tape that I have. I love it. The question is, since washi tape is typically on a roll, share your best reading year when you were on a roll with reading. Now, I read a lot as a teenager and somewhat in my early 20s, and then I hadn't read for a long time, and in 2019 was probably my best reading year, probably ever. I'm not sure. I did read a lot as a teenager, so I'm not sure. But in recorded history, I will say that it is my best reading year. Next question. Stamps. Give a book you haven't shared about enough your stamp of approval. So for this book, I'm actually going to share with you guys a trilogy. It is the Diamond of the Rockies trilogy. This is by Kristen Heitzman. This is also historical fiction, and I love this trilogy so much, but I haven't read it in a number of years, so I really want to read this trilogy again. It does follow a romance element, but it is a little bit more gritty than just fluff, So I like this trilogy a lot, and I give it my stamp of approval. The next one is sticky notes. Do you put notes, whether written or with sticky flags, in your books? If so, share one of those books and why you marked a spot. That one is going to be a nonfiction book, and it is You and Me Forever by Frances and Lisa Chan. And this book I marked up quite a bit. I don't mark up or put post-it notes on fiction books. I don't really see the point of marking up a fiction book unless you're using those notes for like a formal review or something, but I don't see the point otherwise. So I do mark up my nonfiction though, because I think there's a lot of truth and lessons that can be learned from a nonfiction book. As for a specific part, let's see. The quote I want to read is from page 117, and it is, "We often hear the phrase, God first, family second, in church circles. While we say it a lot, I don't see how this phrase is actually impacting anyone. Think about it. What if you were to switch to a family first mentality? What actions would you really have to change?" This is really convicting because, like, if you did switch that to a family first mantra or whatever, you really wouldn't change much in your life, because chances are you're not actually putting God first. You're actually putting your family first already. So it's really convicting to really reprioritize the things that are important in your life and actually make sure that God does come first. So yeah, I really like this book. Easy 5-star. The next question is paint watercolor. What is a cover that looks like a painting to you or like it could be art? For that one, I've grabbed two. In the Wait, which is a compilation devotional book by Heidi Anderson, Courtney Bobko, Holly Holt, Amanda Jass, and Chelsea Ritchie. It's a 6-week study on waiting, and this is an incredible book. If any of you are in the season of waiting in life, grab this book. It is so good. But I had to feature this one because it like literally is watercolor on the cover. So I've got that one for the nonfiction, and then for the fiction, I mean, there are so many covers that could be art, even photo art, or, you know. But this one actually looks like it could have been painted with a brush and maybe acrylics or something. So, Anne of Green Gables by L.M. Montgomery. Pencil pouches or pencil cases. What do you think about book cozies, and do you own any? This is just my pencil case for like when I do my Bible studies, so. And about book cozies, I like book cozies. I do take my books out of the house quite often, but I'm not that particular on like if they stay in pristine shape. So the functionality of a book cozy is kind of lost on me, but the cute factor is I think there are a lot of cute book cozies, and I'm actually interested in trying to make one myself. So yeah, that'll be interesting to see how that turns out. The next one is glitter. What's a book cover that recently caught your eye? There is a new book in the Christian fiction market called Dust by Kara Swanson, and it is a Peter Pan retelling, and it has a really pretty cover, and I'll put it up on screen. But yeah, so that's really pretty, and I know it's pretty popular at the moment because it's new, and I think a lot of people like retellings. As far as Peter Pan goes, you know, I don't even think I've ever watched the movie Peter Pan, or like the only ones I can think of are like Hook with Robin Williams. I think I watched that once when I was a kid. I wouldn't be able to remember any of it. As well as Finding Neverland, which is a very loose retelling movie of Peter Pan. And otherwise I haven't read any books. I don't really know the story. I know a couple of the characters, but I don't really know what it is all about. So if I ever wanted to read Dust, I think I would want to read the original tale first. Okay, an underrated craft or stationery item. What's one product that you think stationery fans should know about? In the same way, what's an underrated book that readers should know about? This might be more for an artsy underrated supply, and it is a kneaded eraser. I actually have one of my kneaded erasers all kneaded up and in a squishy form. It's in my Ziploc there. But these are really handy when you're trying to erase pencil sketching but not erase it completely. When you want a faint outline so that you can maybe color on it or line it or something, the kneaded erasers are awesome. And as far as a book that readers should know about, underrated for sure. These love inspired. They're these little like mass market paperback. They're really, really short usually. There's just a ton within this love inspired. It's like Harlequin, I think, would be like the secular comparative. But okay, this book particularly, The Gladiator by Carla Capshaw. I really like this book, and a lot of times the love-inspired historical, or I think there's a mystery line as well, or suspense. I think it's suspense. A lot of times these little books can fly under the radar so easily, and people don't even give them a second glance. And I will say that since like starting BookTube and stuff, I have kind of like just forgotten about these little guys, but this is one that I really like. Yeah, I'm not really doing synopses. I'm not really doing summaries on most of these, so whatever. But The Gladiator by Carla Capshaw. And I also have a nonfiction that is highly underrated, and that is Through the Eyes of a Lion by Levi Lesko. Levi Lesko is a preacher, an author. He's got a few books, I think, and this is the only book that I've read of his, but I really enjoy his sermons. You can find them online, and this book is really incredible. It's basically what he learned around their young daughter's death, which was tragic and heartbreaking, and this is a really, really amazing book, so give it a shot. Now the bonus question is there one stationery item that you can never say no to buying? Stationery item? Like, I don't think there is for me one item, but for me it's more if it's a washi tape that is like super cheap, or if it's like an alcohol marker set or a Posca marker or something that's like super discounted, then I have a hard time saying no, because you gotta snag those deals when you find them, right? So I don't think there's a specific item though, just if it's on a good sale. So yeah, that is how the stationery book tag went. I liked that I was able to mention a lot of different books that I haven't mentioned on my channel before, and I'm curious if any of you guys have read any of these, what you thought of them, and I would love to see you guys do this tag as well, and then tag me and Lindsay too so that we can watch your stuff. I would like to tag a few people. I'm trying to think of my booktube friends that are also into like stationery or art supplies. I'm not really sure, so I'm gonna tag Oshina, Gotta Read 'Em All, because I know that she's a teacher, so sometimes being a teacher can lend yourself to liking stationery stuff sometimes. So I'll tag Oshina, I'll tag Celestria, I will tag Cody at Cody's Book Corner. I know that she's doing some bullet journaling right now. I'll tag Chantal Clausen because I know that she likes artsy stuff. And yeah, if I did not mention you, but you would like to do this, please do it. It would be really interesting to see how you guys answered. So yeah, thanks for watching this video, guys. I hope you all have a lovely day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!